All right. I guess I'm official now. I got 2 college degrees, graduated this morning, and all I could think about was coming home and working on this piece of junk. So Dad shoved it off in the weeds here because he doesn't want to look at it, you know. But really, it's too weedy. We need the weed whipper. Alec Miller, I'm talking to you, bud. We need the weed whipper out here to work these down a little bit. But we're going to yank all the EFI stuff off. I got some more parts coming. Hopefully by the end of the week, it'll run as a carbureted unit. Maybe not drive, maybe not run good, but like make noise. Here we go. Okay, here, oh, there you go. You got the strap.
Well, this is just...
There you go. Oh! I thought you were going left, you went right. All right. If you want it. You landed on the throttle position sensor there, pal.
Well, that's...
It's probably going to the junkyard, folks. If you want it, call up Leo. All right. How much different does this look? Oh, it looks so much better. Still got, I don't know what's holding that on. Oh, that's holding that on. Okay. So I got a new one of these gaskets coming from the Rock Auto. And we're in business. Neato. Mac. Or drive it. Picked up this sweetheart at a junkyard for pretty much the cost of scrap. Gonna get a run on a 1-barrel just to, you know, hear it run and such. This is way cheaper than an aftermarket 4-barrel manifold. And a running motor is better than a not running motor. Don't get it right, just get it running. Oh, I guess all the chunks are still stuck in it. All right, here we are, episode 3. Got our hillbilly fuel cell mounted on there. It's disgusting inside, but that's okay. So are the rest of us. Got the engine ready to start receiving some different parts. Here we go. All right, just swapped out those wrong flywheel bolts, or the wrong flex plate bolts for the right flywheel bolts. Got them for $0 at a junkyard because it's kind of included in some other stuff that I bought. You know, it took a little bit more time. Thankfully, I found a truck that somebody just pulled transmission out of. Gonna go ahead and torque these down to 80 foot-pounds, clean off this flywheel that doesn't look so good anymore, and start putting the clutch on. That's better.
How do you know that means?
Mucho bettero.
Huh?
Buongiorno. Pilot bearing installed. All right, now allegedly, this is a used clutch. It came out of my F-150 because I had to put a slave cylinder in it a while back, and this thing wasn't completely burnt, and it was still in the stash, and I still had the alignment tool, so it ended up in here. Because like I said, it's a budget build. I'm out of money. See if we can't get a couple more miles out of this with bolts from the junkyard. Let's see if that see if that alignment. Wow. See if this guy comes out. Kablamo. Does it go back in? Yep. Ah! Knocked my flashlight out of my hand.
Yep. Clutch. Now we got our hole in the floor expertly marked with my thumbnail. So we can't do.
Caleb, your birthday's in 2 hours, man. How do you feel? What you gonna buy now that you're 21?
Is it
Hookers?
hookers and cocaine? Even though.
Liquor?
Yep.
All right.
Liquor and whores.
All right, liquor and horse. All right. So it does hurt me to cut a piece in the floor of a like almost 60-year-old pickup, but I did have a template that I found in the cab, which happens to match a piece of, it's over there somewhere, a piece of OBS floorboard I have. So that'll go around there, and the shifter boot and everything will bolt to that. Still not sure if I can get it to fit under this floor. If not, I have that OBS piece I can scab in. But it's no worse than what these guys did. I am pretty proud of this though, that other than this spot right here, I didn't overcut. And I did all that with the 4.5-inch death wheel. Drill master! So, might see if we can stab this unit in there. Alright, we got this strategically positioned in here. Hopefully it's going to fit with that cross member. I'm going to be a little sad if it doesn't. I'll probably take the death wheel to it. But use transmission, use clutch, use motor, use truck. Used floor jack. The C&H, man. C&H. So we can't do here. John, don't act so eepy. It's only like 11 o'clock. Oh, let's help Caleb.
Nah, he's got it.
Totally not using the bolts to pull the transmission up to the block. Totally not, because you're not supposed to do that. Everybody knows you're not supposed to do that. It's okay. I'm something. I'm certified something. Basically, seeing it in this video. Don't do it. Don't do it. The free cab is awesome. What am I kidding? What am I kidding? It's great. See, the cab's fine. It's the junkyard transmission and such that's fighting me. But I'm putting the stud in. We've got it most of the way, made it up. Almost there. Wiggle stick. Wiggle and sticks. Alright, the motor's definitely tilted back way too much, and I'm probably gonna have to trim more floor. Actually, well, but there's no... The body mounts might lift it a little bit more. But that still needs to come out. Because the transmission's kind of hitting the floor right now. Mildly. That's okay. One more thing I gotta do. This is the satisfaction right here. First, second, third, fourth, fifth, reverse. It's in neutral now. Alright. That's enough, boy. Let's go. I've got pool acid, Berryman's. I'm going to pick up some 45. God bless Buckeyes. Alright, so our Gleaner combine, yeah. Our harvester tank got some little rust in her. So we're going to pour some muriatic acid in there. And I got it going through a filter back to a clean-ish, what is that, hydraulic oil? Yeah, Orscheln. Rest in peace. Into the Orscheln bucket. So we're going to keep pouring it through, filtering it out. And I got 2 more of these Fram filters. They're like $3. And
It's steaming.
I probably ought to put a half-face respirator on. Let me get you a funnel. Here, let me pour it. I got the safety equipment on. You can't really see it on video, but it's bad. We're gonna lose the shop, Caleb. Is there any coming out?
We're gonna lose shop privileges. Neil's not gonna let us in here.
Yeah. Anything coming out?
No.
Okay, there's a valve. So the gleaner tank was full of rust. No good. And if I'm saying it's no good, nobody else in the world should even look at it.
It's bad.
So now we got boat tank in the engine bay. Boing. It's not going anywhere. Got it. It's primed. It's clean. I guess that's all we're gonna do. We need to clean up a little bit. It's on sale. Oh, it's yellow. Huh. Okay. Supposed to put this 1 ounce to the gallon, so we're gonna put it 1 gallon to the ounce. Or, you know, 1 gallon of this stuff to let her sit there. All right, Rock Auto starter. Battery cables off the gleaner. Battery out of my F-150. I did a little dance move I call the CMR. Christian, you know, yeah. Okay, see if that works.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah, cranks over. All right, let's go do something else. All right, now that I know this little guy cranks over, we've got new Felpro manifold gasket. Also, this just goes to show you how much the parts store breaks it off in you, because this same Felpro gasket, I got the box over here for a part number. The same Felpro gasket, this number right here, I bought it off of Rock Auto for $6.50. Granted, there was a little shipping involved, but I also bought the starter and some other stuff at the same time. $6 at Rock Auto, or $26 at O'Reilly's. Yikes, man. Yikes. And they sent me I would call this a mom car, but lesbians can't reproduce, so I don't really know how to label that. But anyway, I'm gonna install manifolds on this thing. Then got my fuel system kind of figured out. Put a carburetor on it, put my HEI distributor in. That's over there somewhere. See if it makes noise. All right, manifolds hanging. Jim Bob's got the intaken, freshly cleaned up with a bristle disc. Let's get her on. All right, so we had to modify on the intake manifold because it had a bracket on it for throttle cable or something. I can always change that. We cut that off. I had to cut the thing off to get it to work with the ZF-5 manifolds, but they flow better. That's what we had. So hopefully I don't have too much of a vacuum leak because the gasket got a little beat up. Put some RTV on it. 1 in 6 might be a little lean, but they're probably gonna be lean anyway because you see this freaking manifold? See this log? So $80 Amazon carburetor going on. All right, it had this big ass log in it, which is cracked there. So took that out in favor of this little guy, which I don't even think I need. I got a vacuum cap assortment there. I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of this cheapy, already cracked rubber one that came with this carburetor. And Caleb's got some off the Amazon that are rubber and more better. Yeah, pretty much, basically. Getting ready to yank out this old distributor, this HEI unit. I don't know if that's permanent, but for right now, it's gonna work just right. So I'm gonna get this fella out of here and plunk this in, and then it's about time to wire that in, start making some noise. So before we pull the distributor out, we're finding top dead center. Caleb's marking our deal there. I had pulled number 1 out and we watched the valves and stuff. Look how old school this plug is. It's massive. And it's just, like, the electrode's so long. Putting them back in, of course, but you know, get some motocrafts for it eventually. I'll give it to Ford. They have a hex shaft, which is probably easier to line up than Chevy's flat blade. And it's actually an O-ring seal. Because I was looking around for a gasket, but O-ring. So, little dinky feller, but it ought to work. Looks like I have to pull this push rod out and put it in that one. That would be a pisser. There you go. Thanks, it's what I want. I don't need that, that's for the fuel injection harness. Okay. I put a distributor in a big block Chevy the other day. Alright, so you gotta get the dingus in the hole here. You know what that's like, Phil? Because I sure don't. My first. Ah! Okay. Alright. Kablamo. Get this out of the way. I didn't feel like unplugging this. Get in here. I didn't feel like unplugging this.
It's too close.
Point down at this, I mean. I didn't want to take this plug off because I didn't want to forget which way it goes. So we're just letting the cap ride. So this is about where they had number 1 before. Don't know if that's right or not. That's how I got it. So, yep. It's gonna be kind of a pain to get that, get these on, but see what I can. All right, distributor's installed. Doesn't match at all, but that's okay. This will be blue eventually. All right. Firing order, thankfully, cast right there. And if you don't remember, you know the classic 15, too young, 36, too old, 24, just right. Right, Caleb?
You bet.
You betcha, you know that's right. All right, so I'm gonna run me some plug wires, get 12 volts to right here, tack battery. Probably hook that right to the battery there, because that's what it says is bat. Tack bat. Like a, yeah. And then dump some gas down it, see if it makes noise. All right, we got our left low beam wire feeding the distributor. If I script, that might not work, I'll be honest with you. To the battery. Battery hooked up, need to dump some fuel down the app. And then here, Mr. Meyer, here's your trigger wire, not ready, let me dump some fuel in her. There, you wanna hold it?
Hold your wiener.
What? You know what? We'll treat her. I'm gonna give her a sip out of the premium gin. Right. This used motor with like 300,000 miles. Treat her right. Come on, Dad. When's lunch, Caleb?
I don't know. He said he was cooking the fish a long time ago.
No. This is.
And ain't
Yeah. Hold the choking open.
I ain't seen no fish.
All right. That's some fuel. Okay. You got the starter, man. See what she does. High five, man. All right. Try it again. See if it hits again on what's in there. All right. That's enough for me that I want to put plumb. We'll go check on lunch, but we're gonna plumb fuel system in, and ba-bam. All right. So we got this in line. That pump's not doing anything right now. We're just trying to get it to. Oh. Is it leaking or did I spill that much? Well, let's start it and find out.
Oh, you were already filming. Did you flood it?
Minor step back. The seat, I guess the needle and seat didn't work in that thing. And it flooded something fierce. So we're letting her kind of air out right now. If I crank this motor over, it's probably gonna hydrolock because it's so full of gas. Like you can see, it soaked everything. Thankfully we didn't have the fuel pump running.
Yeah.
That would have just made it worse. So we got the carburetor off, drying out. Got this drying out. We didn't actually eat lunch earlier, but now we're gonna probably go eat lunch so we can let this kind of air out a little bit. I mean, it is running. I want to get it to idle, which is probably too rich to idle because it was leaking fuel into it. Once we get it to idle, then we can figure our timing out. I think I have a timing light with me. So, yep. So this, I know this doesn't look right. This cooling system is a hose for an 86 Camaro with a V6, a lower rad hose for a 93 F-150 with a 5-liter. It's kind of modified. And a radiator for a 1986 GMC Caballero. Or it was gonna go in Dolores, but it ended up in here. This is just so we can test run it. It's just full of water. I know there's no fan. I know the water pump's not turning. This is just to keep water in the block while we crank it over and test run it. If we get real crazy, we might throw an electric fan on it or something. I don't know. So I know all four of you watching that know anything. I had this screwed up. I had this shooting into this barb here, which is actually return, and this is sending, so we found an air fitting and made that work. That's why it was flooding out something fierce. This is holding our choke open. See, that's the genius because it can still breathe air through there, you know? But I guess this just had, you know, sending and return because I imagine these had problems with boiling the fuel off because your exhaust is right there. I guess, I don't know. Yep. Yeah. Hashtag DTM. Don't tell mom. Ah! All right, let me lift her skirt up here. Well. Where's your little bit of sandpaper at? Let me look. All right. Oh yeah. Hold on, Caleb. We got bigger fish to fry over here.
What?
We got bigger fish to fry. Come on, you.
I just wanted to see if that cranks over real quick.
No.
After that, real quick.
That is so tough. Nice. All right, so trying to get clutch figured out. I've got this clutch assembly out of a dent side, but this is a bump side. So you can see they're just different enough. The firewall mounting is the same. Kind of everything else is different. So I'm gonna see what I can't do to make that work. Okay, so I just pulled the brake pedal out of this automatic from the bump side, and it just had one hole, but it was up higher. And this has one hole up higher, or this has two holes, one up higher, one up lower. But I'm putting the clutch where the brake used to be, and then I'm gonna drill a new hole and install the bushings for the brake. So I'm gonna have this style, but here, because this is the one that will bolt to my truck. Clark. Oh, this will probably actually get drill bits at some point. Okay, but yep, it's doing her. They're kind of at an angle. Yeah, you can see it on the video. I might fix that. I might not. I don't know. If I had a bigger drill bit, I would, but I don't, so, you know. It'd be good enough for now. I don't even know if any of this is going to work with, like, the brake pedal and everything, or I have to take it apart. Jim Bob's mower, though. You need to make more of a floor in the hole, and need to eliminate that, too, where they made a four-wheel drive shifter really terribly. I'm going to make a patch panel out of that piece right there from the 93, and I'm going to cut this out. The hole will end up being bigger, right? But I'm going to cut it out about this size, roughly, right now, with the death wheel, the like $11.99 death wheel. Cut it out big enough that we can get the cab where it needs to be. Because right now the cab is like an inch too far to the back, and it's off to the left a little bit. Because this hole isn't exactly right. So we're going to cut this hole bigger, and then cut the top off of that patch panel floor piece, and then make it to where that bolts in, kind of like an OBS truck. So if I have to service this thing in the future, I can unbolt that piece, and then this whole floor is open. Because it was a fight to get this thing in, and since I used clutch parts, it's probably gonna have to come apart at some point. I did put a new rear main in though, so that's good, you know. Yep. All right, so this illustrates the piece I cut out, which isn't square. I might fix it. Christian, look away. It's been a long week, but now this is much happier, and now we can actually locate the body now. And transmission needs to come up yet, which now I can actually do. So right on. All right, so got the cab with 3 bolts in it. Kind of have it loosely mocked up. So I'm gonna make a template of what the top of this looks like, and then I can see how much of the floor I need to cut out and how much clearance that gains per person. Because the transmission could use some more uppage first, but these probably aren't as thick as an actual cab bushing. I don't know, probably pretty close. But I'm gonna lift her up a little bit. So I'm gonna make a template out of this farm auction 11 years ago. Dang, looks like I missed some good deals. 70 Challenger, plum crazy purple. Okay, so this is roughly the same size. So I'll trim him out. Don't freak out, okay? Don't freak out. I'm pissing off the OBS purists, the Bumpside purists, dent side purists, because that's a dent side brake pedals. Floor, that's got a lot of, okay, anyway. Oh, Caleb's under there, so I don't really want to shower him with rust. Anyway, this used to be flat, and now it's not so flat, because that's what it needs to be. I'm slowly contouring this to fit this floor, and then once I get it contoured, I'm gonna weld all these back together, patch them up, and make like a flange gasket to go around, and then basically anything under this will be cut out except for, you know, a strip of flange, so that when I need to change this transmission because I used a reused clutch and everything, bonk, and then the transmission can come out. And now I don't have to body lift the thing because it's a two-wheel drive and I don't want to do that. And it looks hokey, so working on that. All right, so this has been modified to fit. Got it locked in with a couple self-tappers. What I'm going to do is take this back out and use this template as my guide of how much floor I need to cut out. Then we can make sure our transmission's happy. Caleb's been working on the cross member. Here, you want to show him? You show him your cross member. It's a little hokey for now, but we're trying to work with what we got here. What do you recommend? Is that here? Is this as tight as it gets? Yeah.
You needed a smaller, like a slightly smaller drill bit.
Wasn't filling. All right, it's contoured to the floor. We could throw the shifter on for satisfaction here. Contoured to the floor. I'm gonna tack it, fill these gaps, fill this gap, and all that. I'm gonna use Christian Records' favorite welder. Honestly, he's probably not even watching this video anymore because he's probably too mad about all of this. But Hobart, yeah, Hobart flux core. I know it's no Miller, but it'll tack some welds. Except for the fact that I don't have batteries for either of the welding hoods, so we're just gonna have to go Chinese eyes on it. All right. Is it ugly? Yep. Is it in there? Yeah. Don't ignore this stretch. I want to get it out of the truck. I'm gonna let it cool. I've tapped it with a hammer to kind of try to seat it there. I'm gonna take it out, grind the welds down, weld from the backside, grind the welds down, but not right now. I'm gonna let that cool, and I gotta figure out a U-joint for this thing. All right, now I have my hole in the floor, which may seem very ridiculous. But we got this, and remember, I'm putting this fella in here. And in order to change this transmission out, like pull it out, whatever, this is necessary. If I want to be able to do a clutch job on this puppy without pulling the cab, this is probably what it needs. Just keep that in mind. Take a piece of this copper tubing, cut it, hammer it flat, then you have a backing piece that won't stick to your front piece. All right, so Jim Bob's don't mind the gas tank. Jim Bob's getting ready to plasma cut that hole there, that oval you see right there, so we can mount our clutch reservoir. I don't know why that hole's there, but we're using it for the clutch, so, yep. I'm gonna fire up the old plasma. Yeah. Made this plate that's like 1/8 inch thick that bolts between the master cylinder for the clutch and the firewall. The idea behind that is just to keep it from pushing through the firewall. We'll see if it works. It might not. Let's see what this looks like there. I think it will. Oh, you want the dite number right quick? That line's gonna be a little gregarious, but we'll make it work. Right on. So, parts just showed up. They're in the mailbox. Gotta go get them. Woo! Anyway, just got my clutch pedal mocked up. So, this might not be forever. I got this rod coming off here. When this goes in, it all needs adjusted. It's all whatever. And I'm hitting the floor before I bottom that out, which I'm actually okay with. And then that stops on how high I come back up, which I can make a stop or whatever. And then the brake pedal I got just kind of dangling here. That's what Caleb's going to get. He's going to get the push rod that attaches the brake pedal right here to the master cylinder. Which it looks like this hole's not high enough up, but I can always make another one because this is a pedal off the wrong ear truck. So he's gonna go find that push rod. It's in the mailbox, hopefully. And yep, now I got some kind of clutch, brake. Got a floor pan, shifter. And we're gonna run some wires in here so I can start it and shut it off. Excuse me, from in here. So he made it to the mailbox. All right. I know, got pieces here. Got the master cylinder from O'Reilly's today. So, gonna get that going. Caleb's threading the cap on there. Cross threading the cap on there. Don't mind the brake post, it's not ideal. John, I want you to show me the pedal we got now. This is better than a D200. Yeah. Now it's only front brakes because we capped off the rears, but you don't need to worry about that. And you can even kind of hit the clutch pedal too. Yeah. Grab a shifter. Yeah. All right, man. You need a clutch line tomorrow. U-joint. We're there. Let's wire some shit. All right, so we got our conversion U-joint. That may or may not be right. Homeboy Bill O'Reilly's hooked me up with that. And then our U-joint straps, or like U-bolts, aren't going to be here till 2 o'clock this afternoon, and I'm impatient. So, oh, I don't want to throw my phone up because there's a nurse getting in the car. Okay, we're at Buckeyes. Got some making our own U-bolts happen. And we're going to shorten the drive shaft ourselves. And we're going to tell ourselves, oh yeah, we're just going to putz around the yard, you know. And then that's going to work flawlessly. And then before you know it, we're going to check cows. Then it makes a trip to town. And then the drive shaft comes to the floor, and that's the end of Sam Bachman. It was good knowing y'all. We're going to Taco Bell for breakfast. I might as well enjoy my last meal. Got our newfound electrical system. You know. All right, give her a couple. 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna hook the fuel pump up. All right, now I have. That's fine. This is fine. All right. Got my chair. Neutral. And I don't know which is on and off on the switch yet because I never really tested it. All right, cranking. I guess that's on. Now I know. I want to see what happens if I put it in like 5th gear and start it. How fast that fucker's spinning down there. Didn't want the smoke, huh? Okay. All right, I think this is where I'm going to end this video off. There was just too much to fit into one video. If you guys will stay tuned for the next section, we actually got this truck running and driving and made some hot laps around the yard. So thank you guys for watching, and stay tuned for that.